But Johnson and Jestin Porter start together. Bill Covington will throw it up along with Tommy Morrissey and Mark Schnurr, and the tip is won by Clemson. And Jestin Porter out of the fray for the Clemson Tigers, trying to snap this 4-game losing streak, trying to really hammer down an expected at-large bid in the NCAA tournament. Porter with the first shot of the game, off the miss from a 3. It's going to be Louisville ball. And the Cardinals will have Adrian Wooley in the starting lineup today without Michael Brown Jr., Conwell, McNeely, Javon Hadley, and Sananda Frew for Pat Kelsey's Louisville team, coming off a 3-point loss at North Carolina on Monday.
As you can see here, for Louisville early, I don't think that's going to change their style of play. They're still going to get their threes up early and often, but let's see if they get a little bit more ball movement. They're not dependent upon Michael Brown to start the game because he's not in the lineup.
There's Conwell, 18.5 per game. Hadley for a 3. Missed it. Offensive rebound, McNeely. He had a great look after a scoreless night Monday, but he missed as well. An 0 for 2 start for Louisville as Clemson has the ball. Thank you. Clemson, with the game's first bucket from Carter Welling, has the opening lead against 24th ranked Louisville. A huge day in the ACC. We already saw Duke crush Virginia, and a really big game today as Javon Hadley's missed a couple of Louisville threes. Kevin Brown, Randolph Childress. No Michael Brown Jr. in the starting lineup, though he is available for Louisville with a back injury. Here's the Clemson starting 5. Carter Welling bricks at 3. First time this year, Porter, Hunter, and Johnson, all 3 guards start together with R.J. Godfrey. And Welling off the miss is called for the game's first foul. So RC, here's the Louisville starting lineup. Michael Brown Jr. missed 8 games with a back injury earlier this year, and he is about to check in right away. So only on the bench for 1:40. He replaces Adrian Wooley for the Cardinals.
And it's important to watch. We see the game plan here early for Clemson. They're allowing the front line guys, the 4 and the 5 men, to take those open threes. They're going to clog the lane. So they need Michael Brown in the lineup because he's not only a dynamic scorer at 19 a game, he's their best creator for his teammates.
What are you looking for early on for Louisville when they have the ball?
I want to see other guys get involved that's not totally dependent upon Michael Brown Jr. You see the ball in his hands now. Can other guys get themselves involved early? And Isaac McNeely needs to get going.
Brown and Conwell took a combined 46 shots at Carolina Monday. Brown sets up Sananda Frew, and he is the first bucket for Louisville.
And that's how he comes off. He draws so much attention. Frew, all the frontline guys need to score that those short roll pull-up, create as many opportunities as they can off the bounce.
Jake Wallin coming off the bench for just the 2nd time this year. Hits a 3 on his first touch.
That shot's going to be there. Both teams want to protect the paint and build out. Louisville is really concerned about the interior of the Clemson Tigers. So the frontline guys will have those opportunities from behind the 3-point line. They got to knock them down.
Brown for Hadley. Louisville a top 3 offense in the ACC. Clemson a top 3 defense, and Hadley denied by R.J. Godfrey's presence.
He missed the first 2 threes. I thought that one was his best opportunity. You got to let it go. If they're leaving you open, take shots. He's not going to win the battle posting up against the stronger frontline guys at Clemson.
Clemson 10-1 start in the ACC. 4 straight losses. A couple have come here, including a week ago versus Florida State. They get a big bucket inside from R.J. Godfrey, who has a chance, RC, to own the paint today.
He does. Just so physically strong. He gets near the basket. You can't stop him but foul him. And one thing that healthy front line of Louisville has is they have fouls to give.
Ace Buckner checks in for the first time, replacing Dylan Hunter. A good start for Clemson, which Joe Lunardi has projected as a 9 seed right now. Not quite a tournament lock. They have a big chance to just about lock up a bid today or Tuesday at North Carolina before finishing the season against Georgia Tech at home. There's a 3 for Conwell, 7th leading scorer in the ACC.
And that's critical how they guard the ball screens. That action, the bigs are not up on the screen. You've got to get up on Ryan Conwell or he's going to knock that shot down.
Louisville makes 12 threes a game on the year, most in the ACC. Knocked away from Nick Davidson. He turns it over, and here is Brown. The Cardinals also dangerous in transition. Don't have a chance to really run here. Brown driving off the penetration, puts it up and scores, plus a foul.
You see the size and the shot-making ability of Michael Brown. Again, he comes off the screen. He's a 6'5" guard. He sees over the defense here, keeps the defender on his hip. Can't do anything but foul. The guards of Clemson are going to have a tough time staying in front of the basketball against this young man. He's that dynamic.
Ace Buckner hit with a reach. Michael Brown over the last 5 games has been an absolute flamethrower. It includes a 45-piece against NC State, which tied Wes Unseld's Louisville record. He's averaging 27.2 a game over the last 5. And Brown completes a 3-point play to give Louisville its first lead. Clemson a year off of a 27-7 season, looking to get back to the tournament for a 3rd straight year. Wallin feeds the post and Godfrey up a low catch, can't grab it. Brown with a takeaway.
Fernando Frew got away with one there. He's got to be able to three-quarter, try to take up as much space as he can. Can't get buried behind Andre Godfrey. And that's easier said than done.
Tonight Roots off the bench wearing 9 for Louisville. Sets up Hadley, his 3rd 3-point attempt, his first 3-point make, and Louisville scored 9 straight.
It's important for Louisville that he makes that shot. They need one of their big guys to space the floor.
Godfrey goes right into Frew. Tried to bury him in the paint.
Staying behind the 3-point line. We saw him get in the paint earlier, draw the fouls, but we've also seen the impact that he has on his group. 0 for 3 to start the game. He gets inserted and they score 4 or 5 baskets. So his importance is not just his scoring, it's the involvement of him getting his teammates going, and we've seen that here early.
RJ Godfrey's at the line, 11.5 points per game. That leads this amazingly balanced Clemson team. And Godfrey, a 64% foul shooter, hits both. That snaps the 9-0 Louisville run.
Expect R.J. Godfrey to get a lot of touches here this afternoon. Just so strong. It's the way Clemson plays. You can bet Brad Brownell is going to get back to defending better and playing more inside out than they have here recently.
Here's McNeely back in the game for Louisville as Conwell gets a breather. Ali Khalifa, elite passing big man on the floor too. McNeely, not an elite pass. Whipped it right to Porter for the Clemson steal. First turnover for the Cardinals, who will give it up a bunch. 12 turnovers a game, 2nd in ACC play, only behind Georgia Tech. Hunter driving, finds freshman Chase Thompson, who hesitated. Now goes to work in the post and banks it in over Wooley.
Thompson that time surprised inside. He was trying to space out to the corner. Got caught in no man's land, was able to compose himself. Use his size to get the easy bucket off.
Already ahead of his 1.9 per game average.
It's all uphill from here.
Wooley, should say Roots, and Thompson, who put a little shoulder into him, got Roots to run out of bounds. Back-to-back turnovers for Louisville.
Yeah, Roots wanted to get back to that right hand, and so on the baseline, need to go middle, make some pass easier, find teammates there. That baseline is an extra defender, and he got caught with it.
Clemson offensively, middle of the pack in the ACC. They don't score much. That's largely because of their low tempo. They're an average shooting team, but they have great balance. You never know whose night it's going to be or whose segment of a game it's going to be. Could be Buddy Johnson. This is Badley on a long 2. Rebound McNeely.
It's going to be a game of spurts, the way both teams want to play. And again, expect Clemson to get into that high-low action and really extend their defense here against the 3-point shooting of Louisville.
Khalifa down for Wooley, knocked away, and another takeaway. That's 3 straight trips with a turnover for Louisville. And Pat Kelsey's got 3 players at the scorer's table.
Yeah, their style of offense changes when Frew's in the lineup as opposed to Khalifa. Khalifa plays more in ball screens than DHOs.
Dylan Hunter floats through the lane to put Clemson back in front.
And that's the negative of it. Frew's a better defender at the point of attack at the rim. Khalifa doesn't provide you much rim protection.
So right on cue, ran off through, became the 4th player at the table for Pat Kelsey. Almost a wholesale line change upcoming. Here's a drop off for Brown. Switch on Godfrey, got him in the air, and then kicked it to Khalifa for 3.
And that's what he can do. He and Hadley are good shooters. They just don't take a lot of shots. And I think for Louisville to take the next step to help the guards out at finishing in the rim, they've got to be able to stretch the paint and keep the defensive bigs out of the lane.
Hunter on the post feed for Godfrey. Draws a foul against Khalifa. His first and Louisville's second. Here is Pat Kelsey, 2nd year at Louisville. Has done a magnificent job of restoring this program to national prominence. The one knock against Pat Kelsey's Louisville tenure so far. His team has beaten just about everybody they should and lost almost every quote-unquote big game. In quad 1 games, they struggle, which is the top metric in the net rankings. And then you can slim that down to quad 1A. This is the elite of the elite. Top 15 games at home, top 25 neutral, top 40 on the road. In those games, Louisville's 1-11. In every other game, they're 46-4. And this is, because of Clemson's net ranking, this is a quad 1A game for Louisville and another chance to pick up a big win.
It is. It's really important for him today. They're tired of hearing about it. But he knows this team isn't built to attack teams on the interior. He knows his strength is in his guards, but when you talk about Michael Brown being dinged up, he's looking to challenge the rest of his roster and everybody to step up. There's no apologies. Next man up mentality. Let's see if Louisville can deliver the win today.
Free throw's good for Godfrey. Welling is back in the game. By the way, the only game, if you're looking for good news for Louisville, the only quad 1A game they have one under Pat Kelsey was last year against Clemson. Hadley denied. Nick Davidson with the eraser from behind. Johnson trying to penetrate into Davidson. Off the block shot. Keeps possession and scores it over Frew.
Great job, Davidson, of being patient inside. Creating an angle off the bounce. Just too deep with the basketball to be stopped.
Conwell attacking. Boy, 90 feet of brilliance from the Nevada transfer, Nick Davidson, who now guards Conwell on the switch and helps force a turnover. Buckner bowling his way into the paint and the foul.
This is the Clemson Tiger group that started the conference 10-1.
Barnes, 4-year leading scorer, and Rabbi Nell said Ace might be the most competitive guy on our team. This is the potential 3-point play, but Clemson scored 6 straight. The Tigers are 7 for 10 to start.
Yeah, 10 of their 19 points coming in the paint, which we knew again is a soft spot for Louisville.
No Michael Brown on the floor right now for Louisville. Conwell 3. Pure. Second of the game for Conwell.
You want to see that more from Louisville. You drive the paint, you don't get a shot, share the basketball, spray it out, and knock down threes. Just good ball movement, unselfish play.
4 for 6 start from deep for Louisville. Welling. Here's Davidson off that showy sequence. Davidson tries to go around the rim, too strong. Javon Hadley from Conwell. Hadley had 20 against Clemson last year in Louisville's ACC tournament semifinal win. McNeely off a through screen. No good for 3. Welling's got the board.
Pat Kelsey likes to let his guys play, but I think the bigs of Louisville, like that time for Frew, when you see guards get downhill, cut to an open area, don't stand outside. That's what the defense wants these guys to do. Too many empty possessions there.
Johnson is fouled. Ephraim Butta Johnson will shoot 2. Clemson getting to the line a lot early. Brad Brownell, greatest coach in Clemson history, 312 wins. It was extended through 2029, and he said this week about 60% defensive work. They've been struggling offensively late, but Brad Brownell is a defense-first guy. And that's what he really wanted to emphasize, the fundamentals of defense, get back to basics a little bit in the last week.
To say they were struggling was an understatement. This is a group that was giving up in those 4 losses. You know, against Florida State, 50% from the field. Wake was 55, and Virginia Tech was 52. And they were giving up a high doses from behind the three-point line as well. And they're not built to overcome those lapses. This offense will come, but they have got to control the pace and tempo of a game with their defense.
4 straight losses for Clemson as Porter commits his second foul. And it's shocking because Clemson's identity, particularly the last few years, has been a lockdown defense. Still a top 20 defense in the country in defensive efficiency. They are one of the best defensive rebounding teams in the country. But there's been some serious three-point slippage. And at home against Virginia Tech and Florida State, a couple of games where Clemson was a pretty big favorite, they did not defend the 3 well. 43% to your point over those last 4 games.
And that's difficult to overcome when you have the lack of offensive firepower as Clemson does.
Brown, 7 to shoot it. Tough catch for Hadley. Hadley's in the paint. Hadley with a scoop gets around Davidson for 2.
Hadley's got to have a strong game. I think it's so important for him. He's knocked down one of those threes. He's got to get aggressive and stay aggressive.
Here's Johnson, short, and the rebound to Sedan Defreux. Brown throws it all right into the hands of Hunter. Bounce back to Defreux.
Wasn't a big fan of an 80-foot bounce pass there. He got lucky to get it back.
Were you a big fan of that step back 3? Roll inside to Davidson. He gets hooked and held by Hadley. That's the first on the 6-year senior. As R.J. Godfrey will come in and replace Davidson. You thought Clemson had an advantage in the paint. How has Louisville tried to guard him so far?
I think there's so much movement. It's hard to just say front, but they're going to attack Hadley. They have a size advantage. He's 3 or 4 inches shorter than some of the bigs that Clemson possess, and they're just going to keep coming at you in wave. They got a 4-man rotation going in there, so that's why I think it's so important on the offensive end. Hadley's got to attack those guys at the 3-point line on the perimeter because he's going to give them so much size inside.
Jake Wallin's in the game for Hunter, so Clemson adds a little size. Right now you have Roots playing the 4 maybe for Louisville. Roots and Hadley. Wallin goes to work and can't get the angle. Knocked around to Brown. 9 to play in this first half. 4 lead changes, 4 ties. Clemson by 2. Conwell turns it over. Here comes Buckner. Got a bump from Conwell. Conwell hits the floor hard after his first foul, and the 6th against Louisville.
That's just a great defensive possession there. Rotating over in the slot. Steal that pass.
Already 5 Louisville turnovers. Again, partly due to tempo and volume of possessions, but partly due to carelessness. They average the 2nd most turnovers per game in ACC play.
Some of them come from plays like that. You're just driving the pass. Drive to score and make the pass. Sometimes Louisville gets caught in the air. They're driving and they're just looking to pass. They're not putting any pressure on the rim.
Buckner off a hard screen from Welling. Feeds the screener.
Just too easy. No weak side tag there. Dribble penetration gets too deep, forces both guys over.
Vigelis Zugris, 6'8" junior from Greece, comes off the bench as Conwell tees up another 3. Buckner has the rebound, gets away from a gambling Conwell. Johnson with a 3. Oh, he traveled with it. Tommy Morrissey whistles for the turnover on the contest by Zugris. Johnson thought he kept the dribble on the way down and looks to the scoreboard for a reprieve, but it's just showing replays of the Welling dunk.
I thought he was open on the catch, but he wasn't ready to shoot. Took him too long to get ready to shoot the basketball and ends up traveling.
Chase Thompson rotates back in for Welling. Hard to get a handle on what Clemson's going to do. They rotate players in and out so much, which takes a certain degree of buy-in that Brad Brownell pretty much always gets from his guys.
Well, he's one of the best coaches in not just Clemson history and all of college basketball.
Hadley will get 2 free throws. Point line of this game ran up, but can Clemson do enough in the paint to beat him with a low-volume three-point game? That's
just the way they're built. They're going to start. They'll take all the offense they get, but it flips for Louisville. As dangerous as they are on the offensive end of the floor, they got to get to the free throw line and figure out a way to score twos. So this is a big contrast of styles, and if Louisville doesn't protect the basket better, they're going to have a high volume of three-point shots made. 6 points for Hadley. 18th meeting between these teams all time. Louisville leads 11-6. Since Louisville joined the ACC in 2014-15, the home team has won every regular season game in this series. Buckner. Louisville's in a 1-3-1 now. This is all part of protecting the paint and hurting the rim. Now they want to protect the interior. Thompson lets it fly with a 3. And now you're vulnerable for 3 when you do that. The 1-3-1, the wings are constantly dropping, and that slot 3 is how you punish it, the 1-3-1 zone. 5 points for Thompson, just his 8th 3 of the year. Brad Brownell told him this week, you got to let it go and relax and let it rip. You got to love when a coach tells you to do that. Off the Johnson miss, here comes Conwell. Cardinals have not hit from the field in about 3 minutes. Brown had the last miss. Here's Conwell. Don't give him daylight. His 3rd 3. Not a good defensive transition possession there by Clemson Tigers. The 2 guys average 37 points combined. You don't guard either one of them. A bad pass by Thompson there. Wallin overran it. Zugris off the steal. Clemson hustles back so well in transition. Conwell got Buckner on him. Knocked away to Zugris. Brown a 3. Clemson escaped another sliver of daylight for a great shooter. Zugris is late to get back. Buckner draws a blocking foul on Conwell, his 2nd. Both have come trying to guard Buckner in transition. So Conwell did a really good job of guessing. Just drifted a little bit, and the officials called a foul. And Conwell will check out with those 2 fouls, with a game-high 9 points in his pocket. Seventh team foul as well, so a 1-and-1 for Buckner, shooting a team-high 84%. And he hits the first. Without Conwell in the game now, this puts a lot of responsibility on Michael Brown Jr.'s plate. He's capable of delivering, but it's not just looking for a shot. Let's see if he can create and get these other guys going. How do you handle the 2 fouls of your Pat Kelsey with Conwell? Well, it's still early. You know, as explosive as your group is right now, you're not going to panic. It's a 5-point game right now, plenty of time left, and it's too important to this game. If you want to come back, he's going to be a big part of it. You try to get him to halftime without Conwell, or is there a certain point number where you bring him back into the first half? I think you try, but again, if this game, you know, against Clemson, if you go down by 10 or more, it becomes really difficult. And a Clemson foul will be on Godfrey, his first. 6 on Clemson, so Louisville will be in the bonus the rest of the way. And the question becomes for Louisville is just their frontline guys. Like, what are they going to get from their frontline guys? I think Hadley has been the one guy that has stepped up on the offensive end. It's what are they going to get collectively from those guys? I think the depth in their backcourt allows them the luxury of sitting Michael Brown or Ryan Conwell when they get a chance. Frew has replaced Zugris. Here's Roots, frontline player, right off the pass from Brown, will shoot 2. That's what we're talking about. Those guys got to step up. Find a way to get Roots the basketball. Hadley, Khalifa, when he comes in, great execution here. Just some back screen action. He seals, draws the contact, goes to the line for a chance for 2. Denai Roots, 67% free throw shooter for 2. Saturday Hoops Mania today on ESPN and our ESPN Family Networks. Bama, Tennessee at 6 Eastern, an SEC showdown, and then back-to-back SEC games. The game day crew was in Gainesville today.
Rowdy Reptiles. Florida, the defending champ, is red hot, looking to clinch the SEC regular season title against John Calipari and Darius A-Cups Arkansas Razorbacks. And then Gonzaga St. Mary's meeting for the last time in the regular season as West Coast Conference foes. What a matchup that always is. Must-see TV in Moraga on a late night before Gonzaga goes to the PAC, whatever it is, next year. Johnson clangs a three.
Hatley's now playing the three. He's chasing guys on the perimeter. It gives them a better chance of rebounding against Clemson.
Roots kicks it for Wooley. Too deep. Frew battling on the offensive rebound. Just the second offensive rebound of the game for either team, and Brown couldn't convert it. Clemson does not have an offensive rebound. Down low, Godfrey. I guess that is an offensive rebound, and he sticks it back in.
Great patience there by Godfrey. Gets his shot blocked, but he's catching it so deep. Louisville's got to do a better job. Either front him if he gets that low, or they're going to have to start thinking about double teaming him in the post. He's having his way.
5 to play, largest lead for Clemson as Roots flatlines at 3. Wooley tracks it down. Sets up Brown. Quick trigger, no go. Knocked around. Wooley's got it. Buckner had run down the floor trying to cherry pick 2, and then Wooley just squeezed in there after he got the rebound.
You're so concerned about their three-point shooting, Kevin. You're spread out. You've got to hit and go get it. Long shots or long rebounds right now. That possession, Louisville won the battle with that.
Welling gets entangled with Wooley, and Adrian Wooley is hit with a foul, so Carter Welling's going to have a 1-on-1. 2 Louisville subs are Rogers and McNeely, so still no Ryan Conwell with the 2 fouls. And Jake Wallin in for Clemson as well. Here's what Pat Kelsey's team is looking like right now. Metrics, pretty good numbers. The WAB wins above bubble is a new and important statistic the last couple of years. That's not as good as their net or their BPI, the Basketball Power Index. That was pretty predictive last year. So they're only a 6 seed despite a very good net. And again, quality wins are the thing that's really missing from, and high quality wins from Louisville's resume.
Yeah, I think Cason's prior injury and his inability to get back to 100% is what's missing from Louisville and their expectations. I mean, you're talking about a guy that everyone thought coming in would be a double-digit scorer and maybe 12 and 8 or something in that vicinity, and he's just unable to be healthy and play through contact right now. The injuries coming back from that ACL.
Wooley, back-to-back buckets for the first team All-Conference USA player from a year ago at Kennesaw State.
And he averaged 18 a game, and he's capable of coming in and scoring again.
High try for Hunter, popped out of bounds. Wow, Rogers just watched it go out of bounds. It's going to be Clemson ball. Mistake by Kobe Rogers will keep it with Clemson. We Tech at Duke, at Wake Forest, and then a week we go home to Florida State. A good and a bad time to have a week off for Brad Brunell, who's really itching to get back out there, but his team did use the week to lock back in defensively, and they've been pretty locked in today, holding Louisville to 42% and 5 for 15 from 3.
This matchup dictates the way Louisville has to play. They cannot switch against the ball screen action and got to play big on big, and right now they don't have any answer for R.J. Godfrey.
And he draws Frew's second foul. Godfrey's already drawn 3 Louisville fouls.
And it's not just that Louisville struggles to get production on the offensive end against their bigs. What you just saw there, they inability to defend one-on-one inside, and they don't have rim protection. And now they're going to have to be forced to give help on those guys. You know, if they want to win this game, they can't allow R.J. Godfrey to play one-on-one inside.
And Godfrey 5 for 5 at the line is a team high 9. So Frew will stay on the floor with 2 fouls. 6'11", 250-pound junior, 22-year-old from Berlin, Germany.
He's the most physical guy on the inside, I think. He does what he does and does it well. And
great tap back by Welling, keeps the possession. Now Welling's going to drive it at Frew and kick for Wallin. Godfrey wanted to touch again, has Hadley on him. Deep shot clock. Hunter's going to drive and float it off the front of the iron.
I thought they missed an opportunity to get R.J. Godfrey the basketball. He's been defended by Hadley. He has the size and strength advantage there. Expect him to get more touches.
Louisville without Brown, who's 1 for 6, or Conwell, who has 2 fouls right now. McNeely thinks about a deep three, sets up Kobe Rogers, who hadn't scored much in conference play. And Ryan Conwell's at the table with those 2 fouls. Buckner. Into Godfrey again. Oh, he missed it right at the 10.
Missed the easiest opportunity he's had all day long.
Frew, and a blocking foul against Welling, who is trying to draw Frew's 3rd. Instead, it's Carter Welling's 2nd.
That's a big call there. Frew off the bounce there, catches it on the move. Welling stepping and sliding just a little bit, gets the contact, and now with the continuation rule, great job by Frew finishing the shot.
Yeah, he was certainly set early, but that little slide at the end takes it out of legal guarding position and out of the game, as it turns out.
So hard to get an offensive foul like that now. And you do a really good job defensively sliding your feet. And getting one off the bounce is just, with the rule changes, makes it tough.
Frew. Now, apparently that was just a 1-and-1, not a continuation foul. Fooled us. 4-point lead for Clemson.
Definitely fooled me.
Me too. I'm not the only one at this table who was surprised there as Hunter turns around for 2. Second bucket, Dylan Hunter.
Louisville's going to have a difficult time because they can't switch with their front line guys. And on this end, when Clemson switches, the guards like this, Ryan Conwell's got to get downhill.
Davidson's done a nice job a couple of times on him. Wooley inside. He is keeping Louisville in the game with 6 points. 3 rebounds as well for Adrian Wooley, who did start for the injured Brown. Again, Brown playing off the bench today with that back injury.
What you saw in the last 2 possessions of the strength of both teams right now. If your guards of Clemson come off the ball screen and attack, they cannot switch, and they have to help him recover on the bigs.
Wallin into Conwell with 2 fouls. Wallin scores over him.
Wallin, really good job being patient there, using his size advantage, getting to the paint, playing off 2.
Hadley tries to take Davidson. Wallin comes over to help, and there's a foul. It's against Nick Davidson, his first.
Hadley's done a really good job here offensively in the first half. I think he's even competed defensively despite the size advantage he's given up inside.
And he hits the first of 2. NBA tonight, the Lakers and the Warriors at 8:30 Eastern. NBA tip-off starts at a half hour before with Ernie, Kenny, Charles, and Jack, who will follow the game with Inside After to break down the night and whatever else happened in the association. And with those 4, who knows what they'll break down. ABC and the ESPN app. The most entertaining show. Sports television, maybe in television, inside the NBA before and after Lakers Warriors, which should be a great game tonight. Michael Brown back on the floor for the final 86 seconds. 4-point Clemson lead. 4 lead changes, 4 ties, but Clemson's led most of this first half.
Louisville extending their full court pressure. I think just to limit the amount of times they have to defend in and a half court.
Buckner off a high catch. Thompson's had a good first half scoring. Hands off for Hunter. Crossing Wooley. Kicking. Wallin. No.
This is where I think Louisville has to be better. They got to be better at attacking in transition.
Brown had Thompson on him. Ends up with Hadley sprinting into the paint. Blocked by Chase Thompson. Second effort is short. Thompson bodies him up, and Clemson has the ball.
Better shot off the catch and 3 there than try to take it inside in the trees and put the ball in the hands of the officials. They didn't call it.
Use it or lose it.
As long as they continue to make threes, they'll stick around in this game.
Pat Kelsey will keep Ryan Conwell in the game for defense with 2 fouls. Louisville does have its timeout remaining as well.
And they're going to go zone here. Last time, Thompson knocked down a 3. Corners and slot threes are where you heard a 1-3-1.
Here's Godfrey against Zugris. Kicks it to a cutting Johnson, who is fouled. Wooley tried to go straight up. Pat Kelsey thought he did, but free throws are coming.
That's the hardest play, Kevin, to defend is a cut against his own. I think Wooley did a great job of going straight up. But when you get hit in the chest, your hands come down as a natural tendency. It's just something you just have to do. I always hated that call when it was called against me as a guard coming over when I went over to help.
You know, typically on the principle of verticality, you have to land in the same spot where you jumped. He couldn't there because Johnson pushed him about 5 feet forward.
You jump in the air and get hit in the chest. Good luck trying to land in the same spot.
Viciously disrupting verticality. Johnson goes 1 for 2. And Louisville brings in Frew for the final offensive possession for Zugris.
Zugris in the game for his defense and physicality now. Need Frew to come back in. He's really good on the roll and in that dunker spot.
Adrian Wooley is going to have to go to the bench here. I think Wooley has some blood. Bill Covington sending him over to the sideline. It's like a bloody lip. Isaac McNeely replaces him. Louisville still does have its use it or lose it timeout, and Pat Kelsey will take it with 13.3 to go. Another 30-second break for us.
So explosive in how they play. You're not worried about that. More importantly for him, 3 assists, no turnover. They try to set up the back door here.
And Frew feeds Conwell to end the half with a bucket. What a great find by Sananda Frew. Ryan Conwell with a...
I think what we've seen all game long, we're seeing 2 desperate teams that are really talented, really good, but we're seeing Clemson sticking to their identity, and we're also seeing Louisville starting to be more proactive for them. And what I like for Louisville right now is they're not just settling from 3. They've made the adjustment, and they're attacking the paint a lot more when they've started missing those 3s when they cool down.
Michael Brown starts the second half. He did not start the game after dealing with a back injury during the week. Had 3 assists to no turnovers, but only 1 for 6 shooting for 3 points. And Brown lost his footing here and turned it over. Louisville's 6th turnover.
That's a shot there, I think, again, Hatley has to take. They're not rotating off Michael Brown. And those are some of the turnovers, I think, that's being forced upon him because he's being asked to do too much in the half court at times.
I know you're not a doctor. Well, maybe you are. You went to Wake Forest. How does Brown look to you so far?
He's moving well. I mean, no one can tell how he feels, but I think it's starting him in the second half because you can see he's gotten loose, and you don't want to sit him down and stiffen him up. Right after the warm-ups, get him out there, let him play. And I think the critical thing for him, and I've told this to him and his dad, is he needs to stay off the ground.
Brown for Hadley for Conwell. Faked a 3, took a 3. Short. Godfrey flies in for the rebound. Rebounds are 18 apiece. Jestin Porter had a quiet first half. The only one of the 9 Clemson players not to score. Could get an assist, and he will. A 3 for Butta Johnson right in front of Brown.
Poor communication there by Louisville. Didn't match up defensively. Got caught in a couple of switches. Didn't communicate on the backside and gave up a 3.
McNeely misfires from the logo. He has not scored on 3 shots. He was scoreless for the first time all season Monday in Chapel Hill. Hunter on the deck. McNeely knocked him down.
Between he and Michael Brown, one of those 2 have got to get going and help out Ryan Conwell on the offensive end.
Nice shot fake by Welling, who draws the 3rd foul on Sananda Frew.
Frew did a really good job of defending the play, but just gave up an angle. Coming off this ball screen here, and they're switching again. Michael Brown just loses his man on the weak side and didn't see the cutter, and he paid for it.
Carter Welling, transfer from Utah Valley. Back rims the first. Welling with a 6.2 rebound first half. And Frew will take an early seat for Khalifa. Well, as you mentioned, they struggle to defend the post, and Frew, who is their most physical guy, is replaced by Khalifa, who really more known for being a passing big.
Yeah, his strength to this Louisville team is how he helps them in a dribble handoff and spacing on the offensive end of the floor. Doesn't provide a ton of physicality and rim protection at all.
Here's Khalifa on the offensive side. Great skip pass. That's what he does, but Hadley can't pay it off.
Good pass, good shot. Sometimes those are just the best opportunities you're going to get in a possession, especially against a really good defensive team.
Porter too strong. Khalifa with the uncontested rebound.
This is where I think Louisville needs to play more in transition. Push the tempo. You got a long rebound there. They're not pushing the pace enough.
They haven't scored a single fast break point, and Porter bobbled it here. Now, part of that obviously is Clemson getting back, but you think Louisville needs to still push the issue more?
They're not pushing in that last possession. They're just okay with just playing against a set defense. I think Clemson's conscious of it, but there are opportunities, and Louisville's not taking advantage of it.
Ace Buckner checks in for Dylan Hunter. 6-point Clemson lead, early second. Brown to the basket. Michael Brown with a left-hand finish. Now he's grimacing a little bit after that finish, though.
There.
That is a tough sign for Louisville. Brown kind of no man's land defensively right now as Porter gets on the board with a three.
And why Michael Brown grimacing is such a big deal, because the other guys need his penetration and creativity to get going. As you can see, they love putting the basketball in his hands, and rightfully so.
Lobs it into Khalifa. Couple of dribbles on Welling. Wants to get to that left hand and scores it. Ali Khalifa with his second bucket.
Good job of Khalifa using his body. Doesn't have much lift on his shot, but uses the rim to shield off the defender there. Great job.
Buckner on a drive. Johnson knocks over Brown. Brown's on the ground. Johnson's in the hole. Michael Brown with the ball right now. He's been moving a little slower to start this half as Conwell flies in. Can't get the Khalifa missed three. Conwell's up late behind the plate. Clemson has a numbers advantage, and Welling takes advantage of it by getting fouled. Khalifa looks a little out of breath right now. Louisville just disheveled here on a couple of early second half possessions.
Yeah, that's a play. You can see it coming. Ryan Conwell goes after the offensive rebound. He hits the deck. He doesn't get up in enough time. He pays for it on the other end. It's a great job of sharing the basketball, moving it around. Porter knocks down a three. Great sign as you're a Clemson fan to see him knock down shots and get going again.
Welling just missed two at the line. Bangs in the first here. Jake Wallin will replace Buddy Johnson. For Louisville, Brown is going to take a seat. Adrian Wooley will come in. And Brown just walks right past Pat Kelsey toward the end of the bench. Tough start to the second half for Michael Brown Jr. Who now goes behind the bench. Looks like he's going to ride the stationary bike behind the Louisville bench.
Yeah, you can't loosen up. You can tell he doesn't want to stiffen up with the back. Any type of back stiffness or anything else. That's why they started him in the second half. Once he gets loose, you got to keep him loose even when he's out of the game.
This is the largest lead for Louisville on Welling's free throws.
This is what Pat Kelsey talked to us about. It's probably going to be a little bit more half-court set.
And it leads to another missed three by Conwell. McNeely knocked it out of bounds. Pat Kelsey's thinking about a challenge here. It doesn't look like Louisville's going to call it.
On some offense. They're one of their last 15 threes.
Here's a good look for McNeely. 2 for 16 now. McNeely gets on the board.
He's got to find a way to get himself going as well. I think he's better off the dribble than he's even shown in the Louisville uniform. And games like this, he's got to come out, be a little bit more aggressive in moments like this.
And then Buckner turns it over, and Brad Brownell will turn over his lineup. Or no, Brad Brownell's going to look and see if he wants to challenge. I thought he was going to bring in a new player. He stormed over to the staff member who's got the tablet, decides not to use a challenge. Now Mark Schnurr is walking in with a stoppage. Well, Louisville thought there was a timeout there. And we will just play on Louisville ball.
Yeah, I think it was pretty clear. It's off Clemson.
So Louisville within 6.
That's just a turnover as a coach. You're like, there's no way we threw it away that easily. That had to be worth a challenge. Something happened.
McNeely again. McNeely guarded by Porter. Virginia transfer. Great three-point marksman to Khalifa. 4 to shoot it. Khalifa gets tied up. Davidson just ripped it away, and Clemson has the arrow.
That's good defense by Clemson, but if you're McNeely here, it's why Michael Brown is so important. Coming off the bounce, you got to turn the corner on the ball screen, and Khalifa does not look to score inside. He has to dribble and get an angle. He doesn't possess the physical strength to back anyone down, and help came in his jump ball and turnover for Louisville, but they don't even get a shot up.
And now Khalifa comes out for Zugris. Screen set by Godfrey. Buckner tried to dump it off to him. Godfrey eventually gets it. Back out for Porter. Porter. Long 2 is good for Jestin Porter, all 5 in the second half.
Yeah, that's a good sign there. Jestin Porter is a really good 3-level scorer. Doesn't get a ton of shots, and all year long, Brad Brownell's been telling him, you got to go get it. Get yourself involved in the game, and he's done so here in the second half.
He's told them, we're not running plays for you like at Middle Tennessee. You got to go find shots, manufacture your opportunities. McNeely, same spot he hit. This one's too deep. Zugris on the offensive glass. Zugris puts it home.
Every team loves a guy like Zugris. Just physical, defends, communicates. Don't have to run plays for him. He just goes and gets it off the glass.
Davidson caught it deep, and he got fouled. Kenai Roots picks up his first. Louisville's 3rd of the half.
Louisville still fighting and hanging around. With efforts like that, just continues to fight, get an angle there. They don't run offense through him in the post, but he's definitely allowed to go to the offensive glass and get it.
And then Clemson turns it over as Buckner just threw it off of the sideline. So Brad Brownell has seen a couple of very frustrating throwaways in the second half. And Buckner just walks right over to the bench, and Brad Brownell is on one knee talking to his redshirt freshman. Direct, in-your-face communication. That is Brad Brownell's style.
Yeah, you see Zugris there. We talked about him on the offensive end of the floor. That possession defensively impacting the game, and he did that in the second half of Carolina game.
Yeah, he was on the floor a lot down the stretch in Carolina. Zugris only plays about 8 minutes a game. Has not played 8 Louisville games this year as well. Wooley, 4 to shoot it. Throws it up, a prayer. Hadley, Wooley, shot fake. Off the back rim. Not sure if it was off in time, but it's irrelevant now as Godfrey secured the rebound.
That defensive possession will look good on tape tomorrow.
And that 3 will look good from Porter, who has come alive since the break. Clemson has matched its largest lead. Louisville will try to stop the Orange Crush.
Great sight for sore eyes if you're a Clemson Tiger fan. Jestin Porter is starting to get it going. He has 8 here in the second half. Clemson, 8-point lead.
He's at Middle Tennessee, 15 points a game last year. It's a kid who scored over 1,400 points in his D1 career. And he's defending Michael Brown Jr. back off the bike and into the game for Louisville, which is in desperate need of some fight, some energy, some kind of a pushback. Brown Finds Hadley in the corner, fakes the three, takes it in, and Javon Hadley will get to the line.
That's what Louisville is dealing with right now. Teams are just daring their 4 and their 5 to shoot. You see when Hadley catches it, he's wide open. He drives into the defense. He's fortunate enough to draw the contact and get the foul. And he has to balance whether to take threes or drive it, and that's just a common issue that Louisville's dealing with.
16th annual WWE Elimination Chamber tonight at the United Center in Chicago. Spots in the men's and women's championship matches at WrestleMania 42 is on the line. Stream it exclusively with the ESPN Unlimited plan, live or on demand using the ESPN app. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. Foul was Godfrey's second as Hadley hits 2. 7-point Clemson lead. Tigers have led nearly the whole game. Louisville's only led for a minute 46. That was very early. Now a little pressing defense. Wallin throws it away. Brown for Conwell. Great catch on the pass behind him, and Conwell finishes through uncalled contact. 13 for Conwell, and Louisville has 4 quick points.
Louisville's right back in this game, and Clemson has had leads before that they've given up, and plenty of time left in this game the way Louisville's fighting.
Davidson got tangled up with Hadley. Didn't get the bounce. Fought 4-1 by Wallin. Hunter eschews at 3. Davidson wants it. He is really working against Hadley. Just getting tangled with his arm. Now sets a screen. Here's Chase Thompson. 4 to shoot it. It's Wallin spinning around. Wallin scores!
Great job by Wallin, using his length and size again over Conwell. Just getting to his spot and elevating.
Wallin with 7, that's the lead. Brown switched on to Wallin, who pushes him in the back. Second foul against Jake Wallin. Louisville trying to show a little fight here in Littlejohn. Tigers by 7. Banged up and playing through nicks and bruises late in the year. Everybody does.
Yeah.
But Louisville's going to have to find some sustained answers here. They have trailed almost the whole game, only led for a little under 2 minutes. Adrian Wooley off a set play. Another missed 3 for Louisville. 1 for 9 from 3 since the break.
That's a quick shot there. Coming out, you'd like to see Wooley get downhill and attack the rim.
Clemson with 3 guards to try to answer this pressure. Hunter, Porter, and Johnson. Very experienced backcourt with Godfrey and Welling. Experienced front court too. Hunter steps back for 3. Grabbed by Frew, back in the game after a long spell on the bench with 3 fouls. Hadley attacks early. Here's Brown. Whips it into the corner for Wooley, who will not shoot. Kenai Roots has the size advantage on Johnson. Roots into a double team, and Welling came over for the help. There's a foul.
Big lineup for Louisville, and Roots has the size advantage inside. They like to attack you 5 out, but he got the size advantage, went to the post, and was able to draw the foul.
Was Johnson on the foul before Welling got in there? First foul on Buddy Johnson. Only 3 team fouls apiece. Kenai Roots has missed both free throws in the game. 67% from the line there. And Roots is 0 for 3. Tomorrow morning, Women's College game day at TCU at 11 a.m. Eastern. A big triple header on ESPN. Duke and Carolina's second matchup this year kicks it off at noon. 5th-ranked Vandy goes to Tennessee, and then Baylor and TCU battle for the Big 12 title. It's all on ESPN and the ESPN app. First point for Roots. Louisville will keep a little pressure on here.
I think they have to right now. Their guards aren't shooting it well enough, and they're not getting enough consistent play from their frontline guys. And you top of that with the fact that Clemson's just pounding them inside with their
Beautiful press break. Porter missed the three. Down to Hadley. Up to Brown. Can Louisville finally run? Brown. An early shot clock three is grabbed by Frew. Hadley will take it around Welling. Draws the foul, the third against Carter Welling. Javon Hadley has been the one consistent driver for Louisville today.
He has. He's been engaged in the game from three and attacking the rim. I thought that was one possession. You can see the intention of Louisville to play a lot faster. Even though Markel Brown settled for the three, got an offensive rebound, quick attack. Louisville wants to take the lead in this game or win this game. That's the way that I think they got to finish it out.
Brown gets it back from Hadley. Brown pushes it over to Hadley. He didn't want to shoot that. And then Brown tried to slip it through to Hadley. A rare sloppy turnover for him today. The turnover issues of late, not this afternoon. Hunter three. Hadley throws it ahead to Roots.
These are the possessions, I mean, you can continue to attack. You got numbers in your favor.
Brown off the shot fake. A three is short. Michael Brown Jr. 0 for 6 from three today.
There again, he hits the floor again, and whether there was contact or not, he's got to stay on his feet once we can get back and set his defense. And for two, just for his health reasons.
I've been shooting 27 of 50 from three in the last 5. 54%. 0 for 6 today. Great find, Godfrey. Johnson, no, wouldn't go. Clemson has got cold now as well. They haven't scored in about 2.5 minutes. It's gotten a little rock fighty here in Little John. Louisville heading to the field goal for 3.5. Brown driving. Brown is on the floor again. Missed the layup. Brown is slow to get up. Porter pushing. Shoves it in off the backboard. And then Louisville nearly throws it away. And Wooley couldn't control it. Porter three. Good. Clemson, a couple of times in this game, has helped throw Louisville completely out of sorts. 60-49, largest lead for Clemson. Louisville with only a timeout left. They go to Hadley, stripped by Godfrey, and Hadley couldn't control it. 5-on-4 again. R.J. Godfrey wrestled away by Frew. Just ripped the basketball out of his paws. And then Conwell at the other end takes two.
That's a heck of a block there. Frew had two defenders there. Godfrey at the rim and knew he had to get to the corner with Hadley out of the play. It's a great block at the penthouse there.
Johnson was out of bounds, so Clemson has its turn for a careless turnover. A 9-point lead for the Tigers, trying to snap their losing streak and get oh so close. 7-2-40. Dad Randall was a terrific linebacker. Georgia and the Cowboys. Clemson, with a win here, would be in really good shape with 2 regular season games left to go. They're a 9 seed in Joe Lunardi's bracketology. Louisville a little ahead of them on the 6 line. The ACC right now with 8 projected teams, and Cal, the first team out. Here's Isaac McNeely. Ryan Conwell 3. Louisville 1 for 12 from 3 in the second half. Hadley has the offensive rebound.
Clemson's just doing a really good job following the scouting report. They're running the guys off the 3-point line, forcing them to take contesting shots. And
Conwell another deep one. That won't go. They're 5 for 6 from 2.5 and 1 for 13 from 3.
When Louisville struggles, that's where the balance gets off against the scouting report. When teams are just flat out saying, hey, we're going to limit your threes or force you to take contested threes.
McNeely called for the foul for undercutting Davidson, his second, Louisville's 4th. And this is what Louisville does. They shoot 53% of their attempts from 3. That's the 3rd highest rate in the nation. Sometimes they'll have a game where they hit 15 or 16. They're shooting so many. Today, though, they started 4 for 6. They are 2 for their last 23.
Conwell's the only guy that had it going from behind the line. And Everyone else has been struggling.
Pat Kelsey got a little warning there from Mark Schnurr. Did some bench histrionics for Pat, who's thinking about I don't know what he's thinking about. You can't challenge a common foul here. It seems like Pat's soul just left his body, the last thing Mark Schnurr told him, and he goes back to the Louisville bench. Buckner back to the floor inbound.
He's a passionate guy now. He's letting the officials know and going to let his team know about it as well.
He's worn this season on his sleeve at points, Pat Kelsey. It's been trying with the kind of expectations Louisville has. Davidson for two. Pretty move. I felt like last year was all fun and games for Louisville, coming off one of the worst two-year stretches in college basketball major conference history. They finished second in the ACC, make the title game, get to the tournament. McNeely well short from three, and then this year with the players they brought in, with the expense that they put into their roster, which is believed to be one of the highest paid rosters in the country. The expectations for this team in a basketball mad, basketball proud city are pretty much Final Four contender. And they're very talented, but they're away from that right now as they turn it over again with Conwell.
Louisville is so dependent upon their guard play, and I think the injury of Jason Pryor and his inability to ever get back to 100% has just really limited this team and how they play.
Great passing, great shooting. Porter with a second half 16.
And Louisville's not built to be a strong defensive team. Their best defense is their offense, and they're still explosive when they're making threes. They're good enough to scare any team in the country, but when they're not, they can struggle.
Frew. Nice find. Hadley with a dozen. Michael Brown Jr. has been on the stationary bike the whole time he's been on the bench this half. He hadn't sat on the bench, either been in the game or on the bike. And he's on the bike right now. Buckner slips it into Godfrey. Back for Buckner. A three. A bucket.
That's just a great offensive possession there by Clemson. Inside and out. Unselfish. Everyone touches it. Open man gets it.
Wooley penetrating and denied. The high-flying Godfrey came from nowhere. Porter again, step back triple. That might have been the end of Little John Coliseum had that gone down. What a great scene here as Frew smashes one of the hardest buildings to play in, certainly the last 4 years in the ACC. Clemson's 53-11 here the last 4 years. You said this is one of your hardest.
I get ready to say, you can go back a lot longer than that, because I hadn't played in the last 4 years, and it was definitely the hardest team to play against in the league for me.
This is a great place to watch a basketball game, and Clemson is on this great run. They've lost 4 straight, but they've been invincible. Along with Ken Pomeroy, one of the great analytical minds of college basketball. That's more resume-based. That's basically how your team does compared to what's considered the average bubble team. So the numbers are good, not great for Clemson. They're in good shape as Zuger scores for Louisville. And if they win this game, they get another quad 1 win. They snap a 4-game losing streak, and they would seem to be just about a lock. They have Carolina on the road Tuesday. They're home for Georgia Tech on Saturday. They got business to finish here as McNeely bricks at 3. Clemson leads by 11 with 3:10 or so to go.
Yeah, Brad Brownell's just thinking about in the losing streak, get back to defending. They've done a really good job on the defensive end of the floor. Here just at the 3-minute mark, holding this explosive Louisville Cardinals team to 57 points. I think they had time to practice and prepare, and the message was delivered.
Hunter, tough try. Dylan Hunter's going to shoot 2 free throws once he gets off his back. Remember, Clemson started 10-1 in the ACC. They've lost 4 straight. The biggest culprit in the losing streak, Randolph, may have been their 3-point defense. Opponents in the 4 games, Virginia Tech, Duke, Wake Forest, Florida State, shot 43% from 3. And Louisville started this game 4 for 6.
Yep.
But they are 2 for 25 since that start.
The Louisville team matches up well for them because they don't have to guard their 4 and their 5. I think when they're forced to switch and against guards that like to get downhill and spread you out a little bit better, it still poses problems for Clemson, and I think they had to figure that out. So it's a little bit of a perfect matchup and a little bit of practice time to kind of redefine what you are and your identity and how you approach the game. And I think that's what we've seen right now from the Clemson Tigers team. Brad Brownell reminding this group of how we got to 10-1 in this league.
Not fully looking ahead yet, but how do you think they match up with Carolina Tuesday without Caleb Wilson for Carolina?
I think it's similar good matchup. They don't have to go out and stretch the 4 and 5. I think Stevenson's ability to stretch the defense, though, could change and tilt things in the Tar Heels' way.
70-57. Hunter hits the free throws. He's got 6. Louisville, the leading 3-point making team in the ACC. 12 a game in ACC play. 6 for 31. Zugris out for Hadley. Conwell got held by Buckner on the cut. It's only the 5th foul against Clemson, so still no bonus.
And this is why we talked about why Michael Brown is so important to this group. You look at the lineup on the floor, and Roots and Zugris and Hadley, they're not guys you're concerned about at the 3-point line. So you can expect defensively, Ryan Conwell is going to draw a ton of attention. He and Wooley, and defending the 3-point line, forcing one of the other 3 guys to play.
Davidson, a little over aggressive, picks up his 2nd. We just showed you Michael Brown, who has played 21 minutes today, 2 for 10 shooting, 0 for 6 3. He was a game time decision. He came off the bench for the 2nd time this year. Remember, he missed 6 weeks early in the year with a back injury. He aggravated it this week, and he was just not nearly his usual self. He came in on a world-class heater, 27 a game in his last 5.
Yeah.
Another missed 3 from Conwell, 6 for 32 for Louisville.
Be something to monitor as you go forward for the Cardinals is the health of Michael Brown Jr. And it seems to be aggravated the injury again, and let's hope he heals a lot quicker.
Hunter a little banged up there with Conwell. 3rd foul on Ryan Conwell. And there's not a lot of time for this back to get much better for Michael Brown. There's 1 week left in the regular season. Louisville hosts Syracuse Tuesday night and then travels to a really good Miami team Saturday. Louisville came in today the 7 seed in the ACC with a faint chance at the double bye. Right now, forget the double bye. If they don't win this game, try to stick in the top 9.
Yeah.
Which would
get a bye.
Unfathomable coming into the season. The ACC has been full of surprises this year. Somehow Hunter kept that ball in bounds with Porter's help. Godfrey is fouled. Maybe no bigger surprise than Florida State, who's been outside of Duke the hottest team in the league. Won today again at Georgia Tech. Here are the double bye chances. This is coming into today, according to our analytics team. So coming into today, Clemson had a 42% chance of the double bye in the ACC will win. That means you need to win 3 games in 3 days to win the ACC championship, not 4 and 4. We stress coming into today because NC State, UNC, and Clemson were all 10 and 5. NC State lost at Notre Dame, and NC State would have the head-to-head tiebreaker with Clemson. So Clemson's chances at least a little better now. Ultimately, their big test is going to be at North Carolina Tuesday. You win that game, you get the tiebreaker over the Tar Heels.
And this looks like the team that we've seen all year long. I mean, just really aggressive defensively, controlling the tempo and pace of this game. I mean, they have stymied the #1 offense in the ACC and is holding them strong at 57 points right now. And if Clemson can score offensively, can get in the 70s, and they can defend like this, then they can beat anybody.
Here's what Clemson has coming up. Tuesday night in Chapel Hill. Big game on ESPN, 7 o'clock. And then a noon finale with Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech was eliminated today from ACC tournament contention. So see what Georgia Tech has to play for Saturday noon on ACC Network. Clemson's going to be a heavy favorite in that one. Tuesday night will be a great road test in Chapel Hill. Through with a finish for Louisville. The lead is 13 in a minute 30 to go. As McNeely pokes it out of bounds.
Louisville is starting to play when they've been down the last couple of games, extending their pressure. I think going forward, this may be the way they start some games and playing in full court pressure, not just their zone defense and full court pressure, but man-to-man like this.
Pat Kelsey told us that. He said we were down 16. We had a sense of urgency in the game at North Carolina. Had a chance to tie it at the buzzer. How can he get that urgency out of his team earlier? He didn't have much time left to do it.
No. And you knew Clemson would figure it out. You were just hoping, if you're a Cardinal fan, that it wasn't against you.
Godfrey from Porter. Porter's electric second half continues with an assist. Godfrey has 13 points as Wooley hits Louisville's first three in a long time. It does not appear it'll be enough as Porter and Clemson will try to dribble out as much as they can down the stretch. Porter gets fouled. It'll be a one-on-one for Jestin Porter. And Clemson is on the verge of snapping the four-game losing streak. You know, there's not a moment where you get a call from the committee and they say you're in, check mark, unless you win your conference tournament. So we'll never know if Clemson was in before this or this is the win to do it. But this is certainly going to tilt the resume, which is already a pretty good resume, into a really positive territory. As Porter misses the front end of the 1-and-1.
I think they were in, but they were just trending in the wrong direction, having dropped 4 in a row. And the way they were playing, and the surprise was just the numbers that they were giving up defensively.
Here's Frew with another slam. 10 points for Sananda Frew. Mark Schnurr blew a whistle there to stop the play before Buddy Johnson could inbound the ball. It's a delay of game warning. Delay of game warning on Clemson for not getting the ball in, we're told.
You're trying to wait and get the right press offense available to you. That's just coaching telling his guys to be patient.
Hunter's foul, Javon Hadley's second. That's the 9th on Louisville. So 1-and-1 for Clemson, and then it'll be a 2-shot foul the rest of the way.
It's amazing, Kevin. We talked about Louisville and the expectations, and considering this a disappointing season so far, just think about where this program was 3 years ago. It just tells you the expectations and how quickly Pat Kelsey and his staff have done a heck of a job there. And be it health or whatever it is, they got to figure out a way to start playing better basketball.
And here was the tournament bracket coming into today based on current standings. Louisville's trying to edge out Cal and SMU. Florida State won again today. The Seminoles are trying to charge into at least a day one bye.
That's a team you don't want to play in the tournament right now, the way they're playing.
Just ask Clemson.
I mean, they found an identity. They're not forcing threes. They're defending better, have better identity on that side of the floor. Luke Locks has that group playing as well as anyone outside of Duke.
Wooley hits the three to cut the lead to 8. Hunter gets pancaked. Ryan Conwell fouled him, and now Buddy Johnson's going to act as trainer, try to stretch out Dylan Hunter. And Buddy Johnson, I think, just called over to the bench a few moments ago.
He just sees the trainers doing it. He doesn't know why. But if you had cramps, you know what that looks like. Time for some pickle juice. That's what they're giving him.
Dylan's on his feet. Have we still not gone beyond pickle juice in sports science?
It's the quickest thing they have.
You're lucky we have no man help.
Fourth foul against Conwell. There it was.
It's just flavored now. That's just the only difference now. You got flavored pickle juice.
Flavored pickle juice?
Yeah, that's still the
What's
best
the
thing.
flavor? If it's pickle juice,
I'm too old to be
flavor?
cramping. I don't worry about it. I don't do anything strenuous enough. I quit long before I start cramping. And I don't exercise that much.
It's pickle juice, but it doesn't taste like pickles. I can't believe it's not pickle juice. Free marketing slogan. Hunter. 3 of 5 at the line today, 76%. Clemson has not fully shut the door of a 3-possession game. One more for Dylan Hunter. And that one is good. So it's a 3-possession game only if all the possessions are threes. And Wooley's going to drive it in for 2. Doesn't do a whole lot for Louisville. He'll push it back up and in. And Pat Kelsey takes his final timeout with 16.5 seconds to go. Wooley has picked up a lot of points down the stretch. 7 of the 9 have an assist. They got to get the ball in here. Johnson can run. Finds Buckner, who got tripped up a little bit there. He got tripped up by Hadley, who picks up his 3rd foul. Ace Buckner, right guy to get to the line for Clemson, an 84% free throw shooter.
We talked about just the balance scoring, and we didn't mention Buckner, and he's been the leading scorer over the last 10 games. And he's coming off the bench. And if you're a Clemson fan, you got to wonder, too. You had Zach Foster and his speed and athleticism. He was another guard that gave them the ability when things broke down to get going.
Here's how good Buckner's been the last 12 games. He had a 3 in all 12. He added a 3 today. 8 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists for Buckner.
Fearless, fearless, fearless.
8-point game. Wooley. He's got to get a shot in the air here. Wooley does and strokes it. What a closing stretch for Wooley. Brings Louisville to within 5, and Clemson does have to burn a timeout. Adrian Wooley with 17 points. Without Brown. They haven't had Conwell in for all of this closing stretch. He's out right now for defense. Frew will guard the inbound of Johnson. Gets it into Buckner. Great free throw shooter and executed well by Clemson, which will get Buckner to the line with 6.2. That should seal the deal.
That's where I think Buckner is key to this group. His confidence, his ability to get to the free throw line at moments like this and close games is big for Clemson because they're going to be in games like this all the time.
When you look at their ACC margins of victory in that 10-1 run, beat Syracuse by 3, Pitt by 5, SMU by 4. Then they started to get a little more space. Beat Stanford, though, by 2 in non-conference play. Cincinnati by 3. South Carolina by 7. West Virginia by 3. Georgia by 3. They've lived in these games all year long. Maybe that's where the great experience they have comes in. Pretty much a brand new team, but tons of experienced players brought into the program.
Really
Buckner makes it a 3-possession game.
Really deep team as well. I mean, they would come at you early in the year in waves. I mean, he would send 4 and 5 guys to the scoring table.
Hadley down the floor. It's tipped to McNeely. McNeely buries a 3, but Louisville is out of timeouts. Buckner is fouled with 1.9 to go.
Louisville's playing the entire clock here.
If that pass had come down 3, that deflection of McNeely, you'd be seeing that on Louisville highlights for the rest of eternity. But it's just window dressing for the final score here.
And that's 2 games in a row where Louisville has come down and they're just playing with a level of desperation late. After they've dug themselves in a hole, they have to come out stronger throughout the game and rely heavily on their defense.
They've hit 7 of their last 8 to end the game. And all Clemson needs to do now is not foul. Not foul a made 3 specifically. Buckner, double figures for the 8th time in 10 games. He's got 11. Conwell will put up the final shot. And the Clemson Tigers snap their losing streak. And on the last day of February, take a big step toward March. 80-75 the final score. Tigers win it